Welcome. Today, we're digging deep into a really groundbreaking idea in agriculture. It's this idea that the soil right under our feet isn't just dirt, it's a living, dynamic world. So let's get into it. At the core of this whole thing is a huge split in how we think about farming. On one side, you've got the conventional way, which pretty much treats soil as just an inert holder for plants. Something you just pour chemical fertilizers into. But then there's this other way of thinking, natural farming. It sees soil for what it really is, a totally vibrant, living, breathing ecosystem, just teeming with life. And a major player at the front of this natural farming movement, especially in India, is a guy named Achuthan R. His work is really pioneering this bottom-up approach to farming that's just gaining incredible speed. So who is this guy? Well, Achuthan is a senior associate and an expert with a group called Andhra Pradesh Community Managed Natural Farming, or APCNF for short. He's got a master's in tech, so he's the perfect person to bridge that gap between formal science and what's happening out in the fields. He even works with big international organizations like the University of Reading. His whole focus is on making farmer-led innovation a real structured thing. Okay, this is where it gets really, really cool. To actually get why natural farming is so effective, we've got to look at the science that's happening right under our noses, but just out of sight, deep in the soil itself. First up, let's talk about the soil food web. So instead of thinking of soil as plain old dirt, I want you to picture a bustling underground city. It is jam-packed with billions of tiny organisms. We're talking bacteria, fungi, all sorts of things. And they're all working together, breaking down organic matter to create this perfectly nutrient-rich world that feeds plants all naturally. And believe it or not, it gets even wilder. There's this process called rhizophagy. This is where plants aren't just sitting there passively soaking up nutrients. No, they are actively hunting. Seriously, you can think of it like a plant drinking a custom-made, super nutrient-rich smoothie. They literally consume microbes to get the exact nutrients they need. So how does this rhizophagy thing even work? Well, it's this brilliant little three-step cycle. First, the plant's roots send out these chemical signals. It's kind of like ringing a dinner bell to attract very specific microbes. Then, step 2, those microbes actually go inside the root cells. And for step 3, the plant basically strips the nutrients off the microbes and then sends them back out into the soil to go get more. It's a perfect self-sustaining system. Now, all this sounds amazing in theory, right? I mean, an underground city, plants slurping down microbe smoothies. But the real question, the big one, is does any of this stuff actually work out in the real world for actual farmers? And the answer is a huge, resounding yes. This is not some small-time experiment. The organization Achuthan R works with, APCNF, is on a path to have 1.2 million farmers using these methods by 2025. Just let that number sink in. That is an absolutely staggering amount of change, and it's all being driven by the results farmers are seeing with their own eyes. And the reach of this whole movement is just wow. It's not just in one little area. It's active in 20 states across India, and it's even starting to spread internationally. This is for sure a widespread farmer-led revolution. But all this success, it's not actually the final destination. It's really the foundation for something even bigger, even more ambitious, a vision to turn farmers into scientists themselves, into community leaders. This quote from Achuthan R really nails the core vision: to institutionalize farmer-led innovation and strengthen agroecological transformation. So in other words, this isn't about just teaching a few techniques. It's about building a permanent, self-reliant system of knowledge that's led by the farmers themselves. So how are they pulling this off? Well, they've created a formal farmer scientist course. And this is a serious program. It's a structured curriculum designed with the same kind of rigor as a university degree. The goals are super clear: empower farmers to be leaders, build climate resilience village by village, and create sustainable ways for people to make a living, especially for the poorest farmers. And the ultimate goal is just truly inspiring. The mission is to train and build up a network of 10,000 farmer scientists. Can you just imagine that? A whole army of local experts championing these natural farming practices and leading the change in their own communities from the ground up. So it really leaves us with this powerful question to think about. As we're all looking for answers to huge problems like climate change and food security, what if the best, most advanced technology we have isn't in some fancy high-tech lab, but it's in the complex, living world of the soil, right here beneath our feet.